Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, June 2nd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, this candlestick right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, BBAI. Pretty crazy mover over the past week. And now from a technical standpoint, as we head into next week, I think some very well-defined levels. And the first level is this right here. And let me be very clear, as I draw this line in, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that this is a special skill or a great discovery. And I say all that because I think a lot of people have drawn that line. And when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there is no such thing as a guarantee, in my mind, is it plausible to think that if the price were to come up there and then break up through there, that break right there in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. So again, is that a guarantee? It's not. But is it at least a valid question to throw out there as a possibility? In my opinion, absolutely. So definitely keep an eye on that resistance area right there as the key battleground from the resistance side of things. In terms of areas of support, preferably speaking, if the price could stay up above that trend line right there, that would be the best case scenario. But if the price doesn't hold above it, from an overarching standpoint, I wouldn't say that the chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that because the price is still nicely up above the pink line there, which on my chart denotes the very well-known, the very famous 200 period moving average. And that's an area where if the price were to come down there and break down through that pink line right now, valued at 375, then that's where things get a little squirrely at that point. But as things stand right now, as long as the price is above that pink line, then the overarching chart is still in the bull's favor. Next one, BMGL, and this is why I like to do these when the markets are still open because, yes, as I speak right now, last 30 minutes, this thing has continued to go bonkers, and not a whole lot to really say about this from a technical standpoint, other than the ingredients are there for something that is worthwhile from a trading standpoint. And the ingredients are this: as traders, we want to have good solid volume, and you can see down here, volume has absolutely exploded, and we want to have good solid movement. And to think that this thing was down here at basically $1.50 and is now pushing up there into the 650s, I think I state the obvious when I say yes, this thing has very good movement. So other than that, not a whole lot can be said. Now, maybe something to watch for next week, and I'm not saying this will occur, but as an example, maybe this thing pulls back here a little bit. And if that were to occur, well, at least at that point in time, you could say, okay, yeah, there's a pullback here, and then there's a big explosive move right there. And then you could say, okay, at least now we're looking at a bull flag pattern. So as of now, you can't call it a bull flag because it's just going straight up. But point here is that with more time on Monday, as things start to develop, maybe start to get some sort of patterns. But yes, right now, this thing is essentially just going straight up. But like I said, the ingredients are there for a worthwhile movement, and that's what a watch list is all about. Finding situations that are worth keeping an eye on, and in my opinion, at least, situations like this are worth it, assuming you're a trader, because you got the big volume, you got the big price movement. So how will this continue to play out next week? Grab your popcorn. Next one, BURU, and one that had a good solid move, although as I speak right now this afternoon, is starting to pull back here a little bit. Now, does that mean the entire chart's destroyed? It doesn't mean anything like that, but there is also perspective that goes into it. I mean, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well then yeah, from that angle, the chart's looking pretty rough. But if you do care about the bigger picture of things, even with the pullback here, the chart's still hanging in there, and we do ultimately have essentially an overarching, let me make that bullish pattern. So there is the resistance part of the pattern. Here is the support. I'm just, these are rougher. I'm just trying to convey the fact right now and illustrate the fact that as of right now, yes, we have a bit of a pullback, but there is still just this range right here that is basically putting in lower highs, but it's also putting in higher lows. And then what was going on before that? Well, the price was down here before making the big explosion right there. And then to make the pattern easier to see for you golfers, let me put the golf hole down here. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. As mentioned already, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But would it be shocking if the price came up here and then broke through that level and then got a break up through that level? Again, a break right there would not be shocking at all, but not guaranteed to happen. Certainly worth at least throwing out there as a question on a possibility of if you do get some sort of bull pennant breakout. So if you like bull pennants, you like penny stocks, keep an eye on it. Next one here, PLTR, and just from strictly looking at today individually, a wild ride. When you stop and think about the fact that the price gapped up, and look at this 30 minutes. hit right there, dropped all the way down there. So that opening 30 minutes, things were not looking good at all. And then ba-boom, straight up, and then ba-boom, back down. And then right now, seemingly headed back up. So if you got motion sick today as a day trader, I get it. I mean, talk about a tricky chart, just chopping all over the place. But now that the dust has settled, a level to keep an eye on moving forward, and what I would call the ideal level, ideal meaning, hey, Clay, what makes this chart look the strongest? That would be if the price can stay above that trend line right there. But again, if the price were to fall below it, the chart is still very much so in an overall uptrend. But yes, as far as what would make the chart look the healthiest moving forward, certainly staying above that trend line right there. In terms of areas of resistance, two main levels stand out to me. First key area right here at the 129.15 mark, and then the next area right up here at this little congestion point of 130.50. Yes, I do understand and realize that the price did peak its head up right there, but I think there's just more price congestion right at that area, so that is why I'm considering 130.50 more so the credible area of resistance. But yes, any way you look at it, crazy movement today. So like I said, if you got motion sick today, if you're throwing up, I get it, and we'll see if things can maybe consolidate out and behave a little bit less so volatile on Monday. Next one here, NVDA, NVIDIA, and overall the pullback continues. Again, big picture-wise, everything is still perfectly fine. In fact, I think the easiest way to just see that the overall uptrend is still, in a bullish, dynamic is via that pink line right there, which is that famous 200 period moving average. And you can see right here, very strong upward slope to it. Now, that doesn't guarantee that the price is going to stay in an uptrend, but I'm just trying to convey of what's kind of allowing me and justifying me to still call this overall uptrend, because I, again, understand perspective. And if you are a day trader and you bought right there or you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, and yes, the chart is a train wreck for you, but I'm definitely making these comments from more so the overarching standpoint. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now, because moving into next week, I think there's no need to overcomplicate it. The main dynamic, main battleground to watch from a resistance standpoint is that trend line right there. And then as far as supports are concerned, already talked about it, but if this current upwards move here does ultimately roll back over, then all eyes are going to be on that 200 period moving average, and just wondering, can the price, are the bulls going to step up and hold strong? And right now, the current value of that 200 period moving average, let's just call it right there around 132. So yes, right now there is a bit of a bounce, but within the context of things, there was this big move down. So there is actually a little bit of a bear flag right here. And as I mentioned earlier, just because there's a bullish flag or a bullish pattern does not mean the price is going to go up. Same is true here. Just because this is a bearish pattern does not mean that it's going to go down. But if it does, then yeah, all eyes going to be watching that 200 period moving average and seeing whether or not the bulls can hold strong. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up to this free live online webinar that I'm offering next week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down below in the description area you can use. Or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, looking at LVWR and have ourselves a nice bull pennant pattern. So I'm going to go through this quickly as you've already seen some of these patterns. So I want to respect your time as much as possible. So there is the resistance portion of the pattern. There is the support part, and let's just keep it all one color to make sure everybody can see it. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the upwards move right there. We have the golf hole down here, and there we are looking at another bull pennant pattern. So if you like this price range down around $5, you like bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one, GITS, and always these ones I find interesting because when you just go through the psychology of it all, big gap up, price went right there, and then at that point, things start to pull back and pull back and pull back. And right around this area, it becomes a very valid question to say, was this a gap and trap? Was this just a pump and dump? Is it game over? And as of now, seemingly, the buyers have stepped back in. What makes me say that? Well, not only has the price leveled out, it's actually got a little bit of an upwards move to it. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because all these dynamics have happened does not mean for sure guaranteed this thing is going to skyrocket back up. My point here is it's at least a lot more valid right now to throw out those suggestions. Case in point, let's just say that the price was still dropping, and then I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this might be the bottom. It's looking like the pullback might be over. You'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? The price is literally just dropping straight down. But that's not the case here. It has at least leveled out. So again, does this price movement here mean that this is for sure guaranteed a bottom? Again, of course not. But in my opinion, at least, it's at least a valid suggestion to throw out there. So watch that area right there, because as long as the price does stay above there, you can make a plausible case that, yeah, maybe the selling's over and this thing's getting ready to try to bounce back upwards. And then in terms of areas of resistance, I think the key level to watch going into next week is that trend line right there. So yeah, we'll see if this consolidation is indeed a truly bullish one, and if this thing can try to get another round of momentum back up. Next one here, SBET, the volatile beast that has made a lot of people a lot of money, and I'm assuming crushed a whole lot of dreams, because this one is just insanely volatile, but it is what it is. People are asking about it, so let's get the key dynamics here. And right now, yes, there is indeed a pullback. I realize I state the obvious when I say that, so let me just kind of draw out the overall idea here that yes, there's no doubt about the price has pulled back right now. But this is where it becomes tricky because, yes, again, as a day trader, flipper, scalper, if you bought right there, then you got absolutely crushed. This has been a nasty pullback. But if you care about the bigger picture of things, then you're going to say, well, Clay, that is fair. The price has pulled back. That is true. But Clay, I care about more so than what just happened today. I care about the bigger picture. So what was happening before this pullback? And those people could rightly say, well, the price was here and it moved all the way up there. And all of a sudden, from the multi-day big picture standpoint, we are still looking at a bull flag pattern. But again, to reiterate, maybe calling this bullish in any way is crazy because you were a day trader. And like I said, you bought right there, and you're hoping to buy and sell within 20 minutes. So it's all about perspective. But assuming you do care about multiple days, you care about the grand scheme of things, then I would still classify this right now as a bull flag. Next one, SPRO, and talked about this previously and had this pattern right here, but you can see I was not very clean at all, but did ultimately get the breakout to the upside. And now it's essentially kind of a case of deja vu where we're looking at another very familiar pattern. So once again, in the spirit of just wanting to respect your time as much as possible, I want to go through this quicker. So there is our area of resistance. There is our support. And then just because I cannot help myself, resistance, support, nice move up right here. Golf hold on here. So we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So if you're somebody that likes bull flags, bull pennants, you have quite the variety to choose from going into next week. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and overall not the greatest way to end off the week. Now is the chart destroyed? It's not, but it did give back quite a bit of its gains and is now essentially kind of back into the territory where it already was. So for those of you that have watched previous videos, I've been talking about, and we've been talking about this range right here for quite literally days upon days upon days because it was stuck down in that range for quite a while. Earlier on, it did break out of the range, but now you can see with the movement today, the price is once again back inside of the range. So does that mean that the overall chart is destroyed? It doesn't. It just means that as far as this fantastic movement here is concerned, yeah, that turned out to have no genuine strength because price movements with genuine strength don't go back to where they were. And that's where the price is now. It is back inside of that overarching channel. So I'll zoom back in here, and this is where the first update comes into play, just based on foundational rules and charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. I mean, you could throw this right into a textbook. Classic example there was broken. You would expect it to act as resistance, and right there, it is back to being resistance. So 352.50 will be that first key battleground if there is any sort of attempt to move back upwards, with the next key area of resistance at the 50 period moving average, and then the top part of the area up here right around 360.380. If the price continues on down, two main areas of support to keep a very close eye on. Number one is going to be that purple line, or excuse me, pink line there, which you know is the 200 period moving average. Right now valid at, we'll just call it 340. And then if the price falls below there, then the green line there, which you saw earlier, was basically the bottom part of that bigger channel, right around 334.65. And that's an area, still not a do or die level, but if the price starts to break down below that level, things start to look a little bit shakier at that point. But yeah, no doubt about it, not the greatest way to end the week here for Tesla. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more, then definitely get signed up for the free class next week. It'll be Thursday, June 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I say that because I have been going live. And if you want to join the live stream, ask questions, hang out, watch me trade live, and you want to know when I am live, then by hitting the subscribe button and turn on the notification, that'll help you, notify you in those moments when I do go live on the channel. So if that sounds like of any interest, then definitely do that. So thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Make sure you get signed up for the free class.